We often talk about the physical benefits of exercise, like getting bigger, stronger, how to improve your bench press and stuff like this. But it's not very often you see videos on the psychological aspect of things, the mental side of lifting weights. And I don't really know why it's not talked about more because literally me and all my mates say, like, if we didn't have the gym, most of us would have fucking killed ourselves by now, bro. Like, that might sound a bit dramatic, but in this video, I want to share some of the things I've learned over the years and how I've been able to use the gym to improve my mental health and how a lot of my friends have been able to as well. So, when I first started lifting weights, I was a super skinny guy. I'll put a picture on screen. I was like 60 kilos, that's 6 feet tall. And I still remember my first couple training sessions. I went with a couple of mates from school. They were all bigger than me. They were all lifting heavier weights, even though we started at the same time. And I felt like I was really behind. And I remember we all jumped on the bench press and everyone tried just to have a go at benching. They were all putting on like 40 kilos, 50 kilos, and I couldn't even bench the empty 20 kg barbell. And I remember feeling so insecure, like less of a man because I couldn't lift and I was so skinny. And I remember even after a few months of training, like people at school used to say to me, like, haven't you been lifting weights? Like, how come you haven't got any bigger and stuff like this? And 10 years later, the gym has completely transformed my confidence. I feel far more secure in my body, in my mind, and I've been able to help loads of other people as well to get bigger and stronger. And that side of things I think is really undervalued. Like, it's cool to get strong, but I think it's cooler to develop confidence, like feel more of a man, feel more confident, feel like have higher self-esteem from lifting weights, and we don't really speak about it very often. So let me tell you three of the things I've learned over the years about improving my mental health through training. So thing number one, and probably the most important thing, is to make the gym your anchor. And I actually heard about this concept from The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Um, and he was just speaking about like even though life is so hectic, so stressful, there's so many things going on, you always need this one thing at the center that kind of stays consistent and it just remains there all the time, no matter what's going on. And for him, obviously, it's the gym. And for myself, I guess over the years, it did become the gym. Like, even if I had stuff going on at home with my family, like, um, just like toxic stuff going on, arguments and stuff like that. Or maybe school was stressful, people were being dicks to me at school and stuff like that. Or I don't know, just stresses of growing up as a young man. And whatever was going on, I always had the gym to go to, and the gym was kind of like my comfortable place. It felt like home to go to. Like you just had a terrible day at school, maybe I don't know, you were in detention at school or something, missed homework, family were arguing and complaining at you when you got home, and then you always had the gym to go to, and it was like your retreat to get away from everything. And also just that one thing that stayed consistent at the center of your routine. And as I've got older and as I've grown up, it's even more important. Like when I've had super stressful work days and I've worked jobs that I hated, and the gym is always there at the end, and it's just that anchor that keeps my routine consistent. Even if I'm falling off everything else and it feels like I've just woke up late, haven't got work done, and haven't had a great day, I've still got the gym there to keep me feeling like I'm taking steps forward and I'm moving towards some kind of goal. So no matter how bad the day goes, I've made at least some kind of progress. And it's really helped me to kind of not fall apart when going through periods of like low mood or depression and stuff like that. And like even if in those periods my mind is feeling weak, my body doesn't, and I keep up that habit of consistent training. So that's been really important for me, making the gym my anchor. Number two is realizing that each training session is kind of like a step or an act towards the man I want to be. And what I mean by that is not just the actual aspect of training, but you might not realize it, but every time you skip a training session, you're breaking your word to yourself, and you're kind of reinforcing this negative belief about yourself that you're someone that breaks your word, that your word can't be trusted. And I think that's really, really important and really undervalued. And I think your word has to be iron. So if you say you're going to do something, you need to do it. And I think that's a huge part of your self esteem and your confidence in yourself, because I know for myself anyway, if I'm consistently not showing up and not doing the things that I've said I'm going to do, it slowly just chips away and erodes at your confidence and your self-esteem. And eventually you start to kind of loathe yourself and have this negative self-talk about yourself. And it really does have a big effect. So remember, next time you want to skip the gym, you're breaking a promise to yourself. And it might sound a little bit dramatic. You're like, oh, I can skip sessions here and there if I'm tired and stuff like that. But really, every time you do skip it, you are really breaking your word to yourself. And I think that's probably even more important than you keeping your word to other people, because if you can't even trust your own word, you have nothing to really reaffirm your confidence and your self-esteem. And the final thing, and I don't think people really acknowledge this that much, but thing number 3 that's really helped me with my mental health on the training side of things is my diet. Diet is very closely related to your training. And people don't really speak about how big of an impact the foods you eat actually have on your mind and your mental health. Like, let me give you a quick example. Let's say you have you just go and have a huge McDonald's meal, right? So you have like a Big Mac. So my personal order would be something like a Big Mac meal, large strawberry milkshake, 20 chicken nuggets, something like that, right? And yeah, it tastes good in the moment and everything like that. But afterwards you feel so shit. You just feel tired, groggy. My skin usually breaks out. You feel a little bit of guilt as well for eating that food, because deep down you know that food is shit. It's just shit quality food. And so compare that to when you have like a home cooked meal, a high protein meal, like some good starchy carbs like pasta or rice or something, with some healthy fats and some fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. The feeling between those two meals is not even comparable. After the good healthy meal, you feel like you've done something productive towards your goals, and your mind feels better for it. You feel like you've respected yourself by eating healthier foods. So I think you can't underestimate the influence of your diet on your mind. And I would really recommend to any of you watching that you really try and improve the quality of your diet by focusing on like whole, minimally processed foods, things that aren't really packaged and have a huge list of ingredients. So high protein, whole foods diet, starchy carbs, some healthy fats, lots of fruits and vegetables and things like that. Try and eat like an athlete, and actually eat like you're trying to get in the best shape of your life. You're trying to perform while in the gym, not just eating things purely just to hit macros, because I fell into that trap where it was like, only the numbers matter. It only matters how many calories, protein I'm eating. But the quality of your food really does matter as well, not only for your performance, but for your mind. Because if you can't respect yourself enough to think about the things you're putting in your mouth, then you can't expect your mental health to be where it needs to be. So I always like to end these videos with some kind of like action steps you can do to improve in some way. So thing number 1 that I would recommend to improve your mental health with your training is to make the gym your anchor. Whatever else goes on in your life, try and keep the gym constant. It's always there, so you've always got something moving you forward towards your goals. Thing number 2, remember that each training session is it's an act towards the man you want to be. Every time you skip a training session, you're breaking your word to yourself, and you're slowly chipping away at your self-esteem and your confidence. And you need to keep that in mind, because that's really, really powerful. And thing number 3 is be aware that what you put in your mouth affects your mind as well. Respect yourself enough to eat a high quality diet of whole foods, high protein, fruits and vegetables, things like that. And I'm not saying you can't eat some of these junk foods, quote unquote, like McDonald's and takeaways and stuff like that. And I definitely include those things in my diet. But don't fall into that trap of just thinking I just need to hit macros, I can eat whatever I want to do that, because it will have an effect on your mental health. So yeah, thanks for watching. I really hope you took something useful from this video that you can go and apply to your own life and improve your mental health. I know the gym has helped me massively in terms of depression, anxiety, confidence, and things like that. So I really hope you can use some of these things. If you have any lessons you'd like to share in the comment section with everyone else, or any comments, questions, things like that, post them in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you in the next video.